From VTV Channel 6 Studios in downtown Vernal, this is Local Point with your host, Chris Piner.
And welcome to Local Point, brought to you by Strata Networks. I'm your host, David Gale, and for Chris Piner today. Now, on today's show, we welcome to the studio Sherry McCurdy from, and this is a mouthful, the Uinta Transportation Special Service District. It's
Very
a big
good.
word. You may have never
Very
even
good.
heard about it, but she's here to talk about the Ashley Valley Energy Route, which you may also not have heard. Welcome, Sherry, to Local Point. This is a very interesting subject, and mainly because it impacts so many people, or has the potential to impact so many people. So maybe first we should start with the Uinta Transportation, and I forgot the rest of it. The
Special Service District.
Special Service District. What is that?
We'll just refer to it as the district, and that'll
Okay.
keep it simple throughout
sounds
the
great.
interview. We were actually created in 1988 to bring mineral lease money, so mineral lease money that's generated in our area back to the area
Right.
to mitigate impacts to transportation
Okay.
as a result of the mining in our area, which is primarily oil and gas.
There you go. Okay, and so then you take this money that comes back in to mitigate that impact, and what do you do with it?
We do construction projects. Some of the projects that we've done is Seepridge Road.
Okay.
44 miles of construction out there, back into the heart of the area where it's generated. We've reconstructed Vernal Avenue, 3500 West, Main Street and Aggie Boulevard was a new project for us. And then each year we maintain about 100 miles of roads throughout the counties and oftentimes the cities, and keep them up to a standard as well.
That's a
So
lot of work.
We have a lot
Yeah.
going on to keep up with the transportation in the area.
How do you decide the next project to work on?
Great question. Each year, the Uinta County Commissioners put together a list, a prioritized project list, and they bring it to us. And then our board reviews it and makes a decision based on budget and need, and we look at what we already have in the planning and what we can do. And then we select those projects and get busy, get to work, and I will just say we get a lot done.
Well, you do, because all of those places that you named off, you can go out there and look and see what it's done for the community and for traffic and whatnot. And a lot of them are actually, if I may say, beautiful. It's work that you put some effort into, that it's more than just a road, right? So this new project you've got coming up, the Ashley Valley something.
Ashley Valley Energy Route, which we will shorten to AVER.
AVER, thank you. So we get
just
the
easier.
district is working on AVER, the Ashley Valley Energy Route. What is this?
Right. The Ashley Valley Energy Route is a 12.3 mile route. It originates at McCoy Flats on the west end
Okay.
of 40, comes out where the new construction is going on with the UDOT project there, and it heads east, crossing State Route 45 or the Bonanza Highway at 6500 South, and
Okay.
continuing on to East Highway 40 east of Naples, coming through the industrial route
Okay.
in that area.
It's a road that's basically going to come, because McCoy Flats is, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 miles west of Vernal?
Yes. Yes, it's-
And take the traffic from there, and instead of putting it through Vernal, going to go south of Vernal, and then hook back up with the highway past Naples.
That's correct, but we're not wanting to take all traffic, obviously.
Okay.
What we're focusing on, what we're targeting is the industrial traffic. We're hoping to relieve about 30% of the traffic, the commercial or industrial traffic that's coming through our downtown area.
The big rigs that are coming through doing what they do,
Yes,
and pushing
yes.
them that way instead. So apparently then there's an awful lot of traffic right now that comes through the area. You say 30%. That has to use the route that goes right through Main Street.
That's an interesting, those are interesting numbers.
Okay.
We have 27,000 for our average daily traffic count. That number comes from UDOT.
Okay.
And that's a 2011 ADT, we call it, average daily traffic. So 27,000, that's actually 4,800 more vehicles per day than exist in Provo's downtown Center Street and University
You're
Avenue.
kidding.
No. Our traffic is very different here though, David. It's more commercial industrial than
Right.
most areas.
Right.
They have about a 16% commercial or heavy truck traffic
Sure.
number. Ours is just above 30%.
And those commercial vehicles, they have a different kind of impact on the roadways than typical, you know, my car?
They absolutely do. Each semi has the equivalent of approximately 5,000 vehicles, just light trucks or cars.
One semi?
One semi to the
Wow.
roadway. So the impact is huge, but what concerns us is 80 to 85% of those are carrying flammable materials.
Sure.
And that number comes from a hazmat survey
Okay.
conducted several years ago by Duchesne, Uintah, and Daggett County. So it's a different
There's a safety
type
concern.
of traffic.
Yeah.
This project is all about safety and finding a way to mitigate the impacts to our downtown area, provide a safe downtown, and move some of this industrial traffic south of Vernal.
It's crazy that those numbers are real. I mean, I just think about being in the Provo area and being at the intersection you're talking about and how many vehicles are coming through, and then comparing it to our little town, and I'm surprised that our roads have held up as well as they do. I can't remember the last time we had a construction through Vernal right there, but
A couple of years ago, UDOT came in and reconstructed or overlaid our main street. So there's heavy, you know, there's a lot of maintenance that goes into that.
sure.
And UDOT is projecting that our traffic will continue to increase at 3% per year.
Right, well, because and you said that these numbers are from 2011 even, and I'm assuming that here in 2014 we've already grown quite a bit from those numbers.
We've grown, and it's interesting that you talk about growth because we recently completed a study with UDOT, the Uintah Basin Energy and Transportation Study, and it was a very complex study involving industry and traffic studies, and what we learned from that study is that, or what they're projecting from the study is that by 2022, the development in the area is going to double.
Wow.
So 2022 is not too far away.
No, no.
And that's, if we do nothing with the transportation in the area, we're still going to double the production. But if we address transportation restraints, which we are currently working to do, there is the potential in the next 30 years to bring out $30 billion worth of production from the area, 27,000 jobs.
Wow.
So there is a great
This area
economic growth potential for the area.
is booming, and you can see it. And we're going a little over. I apologize, but we got so much more to talk about. So stay with us. We'll be right back after this message from our sponsor, Strata Networks.
Strata Networks is proud to bring the first true 4G LTE network to the Uintah Basin. 4G LTE is the most powerful mobile broadband available anywhere in the world. With speeds up to 10 times faster than 3G, you can stay connected like never before. Video chat without delay, stream HD TV or movies in an instant, and download or upload in seconds. For details, visit us in Roosevelt or Vernal or call 622-5007. More speed, more power. 4G LTE, only from Strata Networks.
Welcome back to Local Point. Sherry McCurdy is here in the studio with us discussing the Ashley Valley Energy Route, or AVER as they're calling it, a route from west of Vernal all the way south of Vernal to east of Vernal, dropping back on the main freeway to divert large vehicles. Not just large vehicles, but production vehicles, semis and things like that.
That's correct.
Okay, so how was this route decided? I'm sure that there's a lot of different ways you could have gone.
There is. Back in 2007, 2008 time period, we did an extensive study. First of all, we put together a stakeholder group, 30 key entities involved, such as the Vernal Area Chamber of Commerce, local government. We reached out to the trucking industry and did surveys. So it was a very extensive process. And what the stakeholder group came up with was 13 potential routes that varied from 2500 south to the McCoy Flat area.
Okay.
So we took those 13 routes to the public and we got their opinion on it.
Right.
And there were 2 routes that were ranked high, but this was the highest ranking route.
Okay.
We then took it through a computer program called Quantum, that figures cost and cuts and fills. It actually gave us 1 million different versions
Wow.
in this area.
Just in that one area,
alone.
huh?
So it's, yeah, we have a prime route here.
Okay.
But that was the process. And then we took it back to the public, this final route. 92% of the public that attended those meetings, and they were well-attended meetings with nearly 200 people at the meetings, they favored this route.
Okay.
What we heard is, not in our neighborhoods.
Right.
Don't
and that's gonna
relocate our
happen.
businesses, don't impact our homes. They wanted this traffic south,
Gotcha.
as far south as possible.
And this gives, in the actual construction of the route, I guess I'm not familiar with what, if I was a truck driver, I suppose that maybe there would be signage that would say, hey, this is the direction that you go?
Yeah, we're working on that, and
Okay.
we're not as far into the design process as
Sure.
so we can answer those. But what we're doing is we're surveying a 900-foot corridor so that we have some wiggle room to work around some issues that we may have out there.
Okay.
Our roadway right-of-way will be 300 feet, but the actual roadway will be 40 feet, 2 lanes.
Okay.
But we'll be able to expand that asphalt in the future as we grow to accommodate a wider road.
Gotcha.
And the wiggle room will allow us to work around issues that we know are in the area. For example, we know we have the McCoy Flats trails.
Right.
That's a big concern for BLM and for
Right.
the NUM group. We have sage grouse in the area. We
Right.
have mining. You know, we're doing archaeological and raptor surveys.
Okay.
So we have that wiggle room.
Right.
to
'cause
work
then
through
obviously
it.
there's going to be an impact when you're building a road through an area. So where are we right now? then?
There is impact, there always is, that we deal with. Right now, we just completed, BLM completed a scoping period, and they accepted opinions or comments from the public. They're being summarized, and BLM is going to tell us what we need to mitigate.
Okay.
Now, they may come back and tell us, you need to mitigate these trails and this is what you need to do, or you need to shift the route here to avoid this or that.
Okay.
And we're willing to do that. We're just
Right.
in the process, which is a great process, by the way, because it involves everybody.
Sure.
And it's another level of public comment that just brings issues up that we may not be aware of.
Right.
It's a great process.
So when BLM comes back and they say, okay, here's the issues that we see and here's how you might be able to fix them, then you go back to the drawing board, so to speak, and continue work on the design?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just kind of in a waiting mode to see what BLM thinks about this route, and then we'll move forward.
Time frame, if everything goes swimmingly, I suppose if the issues are not a big deal or they're easy to get around,
Right.
what can the public see as being the possible when the construction starts, when it could be finished, that kind of thing?
We're hoping to have a decision from BLM by the end of the year. We could move forward as early as next year on
wow.
construction.
Okay.
We'd probably start on the east end and then move forward from there.
And time frame for construction?
Probably 3 years
Okay.
to get through the project. But it's a process, and we
Sure.
realize it's going to take some time to get through that. And time is short today, so I would encourage
Yes.
the public to contact me. We have an open door. There's information on our website, which I believe you're going to.
Yep, we'll show the
Post for us.
website here, as well as your contact information. In fact, there's what is the website? Just
It's utssd.utah, spelled out utah.gov.
and on there,
and-
can we see any of the preliminary plans or proposed routes?
Yes.
Okay.
All of the information from the study is on the website.
All right.
And I'm always happy to meet with people.
And there's so much to
This-
talk about it. You should,
well-
if you have a question, then come to Sherry.
This is a big deal,
Yeah.
and I know there's a lot of concern in the community.
Sure.
That's why I'm here.
All right. Well, thank you for giving us at least a little slice of the information about this route. And thank you,
You're
of
very
course, for
welcome.
joining us on today's show. That's all we have for now. Join us again next time right here on VTV Channel 6. Remember to like us on Facebook, if you do that, for updates on your favorite VTV programming. We'll see you next time.